Ladies and gentlemen, really happy to have you all over here. It's a pleasure to have you amazing people over on our meeting to hear about public speaking and networking. So, first of all, welcome. My name is Rishabh Amarnath, and I'm the co founder of Compass Career Discoverers. Today, in this meeting, in this event, I'll be telling you some secrets that I use and people generally use in terms of public speaking and why public speaking is really important for school students and people in general, and how networking works in real life, and why is networking important, and how do you get the best out of networking and today's scenario the same. So moving forward with how public speaking works, or what is public speaking? Public speaking is pretty simple. It's just a way of talking towards people. Now, why is it important? Now, if you take any person's reaction, everyone has a dream of being a leader, or in terms of motivating people, or in terms of being heard to say. And public speaking helps you in a great way when it comes to all these things. Public speaking is a way where you get to share your ideas, your vision, the way that you motivate others, and the way that you show your picture, whatever that you have in your mind. Now, when it comes to public speaking, there are many platforms that you can do. Starting off with speaking on stage or taking a webinar, such as myself, what I'm doing right now, or it can be through any mean possible. If you're sharing with a group of people, group of friends, doesn't matter. Or if you're presenting something, everything involves public speaking. Now, if you're a student, public speaking is absolutely important to you because one, you'll be making a lot of presentations in your school life or in your college life, to say, or if you're a person, you'll be making a lot of presentations either as a leader, as an employee, or as an entrepreneur, so teacher, or any profession towards. Now, what we'll be touching base upon is how can you improve your public speaking skills? Where will you be able to improve your public speaking skills? And a few tips on how to improve the same as well. Now, starting with where or why. Now, why public speaking is important is pretty simple. Now, down the line, everyone wants to make sure that their ideas are being. It's really important that, see, let's keep an example in place. Now, if you are someone who's just plainly explaining an idea, there is no effect to it. There's no vision behind it. People are not able to relate to it. But if you're very good at public speaking, the way that you put the picture through, it becomes highly effective, and people would actually want to listen more towards it. And that's why public speaking is really important, be it a be it a school student, be it a college student, be it an employee, or be it any person to say, as long as you're good at public speaking, getting the idea through or getting your picture through becomes super easy. Now, where do you get to exercise public speaking? So, now, we'll be taking this into various considerations, as in like one as a school student, one as a college student, and one for any person who's an employee or who's self-employed to say as well, who's gone past the college stage. Now, for a school student, you have 100 different venues, to practice your public speaking skills, or at least get an opportunity to practice your public speaking skills. Now, understand one thing: please don't be shy to be open. No, I understand people. No, it doesn't matter if you're an introvert. It doesn't matter if you're shy. It doesn't matter if you're not good at speaking as well. It's all about giving that try that matters the most. Worst comes to worst, people are gonna, say, hey, this is boring, or people are gonna make fun of you. But apart from that, you have to understand that you're doing this for yourself. No matter how many people say that you're bad at it, understand that this is for your own self improvement, and you have to improve it by yourself. And this is a very required skill set in the 21st century, say. Now, there are a lot of planes, like I mentioned again. One, starting for your own school. Say right now it's COVID, so it's fine. But you have your English classes that happen most of the times. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry. So you have your English classes that happen online. I'm sure about that. So just take an initiative. Take any simple topic that you're good at or you find it interesting. Now, if you take a school student, it might be gaming, it might be music, it might be your favorite actor or a favorite movie to say. just prepare like a 5 minute speech, or even if you want to keep it two, just prepare a 2 minute speech. Take a day, prepare it, keep it simple, keep it sweet, keep it informal if you want to keep it informal, but take that opportunity to come in front of your teacher, tell her or him, uh sorry, am I audible? Thank you. Okay, moving ahead, I just wanted to say that take that opportunity, prepare the 2 minute speech, go to your teacher, tell her that, hey, I want to give a try in public speaking, I prepared something on this topic, just give me 2 minutes of your time in your class so that I can present it in front of teachers. It's okay even if it's scripted, but the fact that you're giving a try is what matters. First time it might go wrong where you're stammering a lot. Second time it might go wrong where you're stammering a lot, like you might feel very shy, or you might feel that that stage fright that you usually have. But as you get used to speaking in public, it becomes way more comfortable, and you just you don't hesitate after the third or the fourth time, because you're already used to it and you're super comfortable going about with the same. Now, it can be a classroom discussion, it can be an event that you're taking part in. There are 100 different events. It can be a Model United Nation that school students, you're well aware that you can be taking part in many of them. It can be a debate, a parliamentary debate or a normal debate that you want to go forward with. It can be any stage event. If you take a cultural event to say, it can be a public speaking, it can be a just a minute, it can be a shipwreck, it can be a channel surfing, it can be any of these events. But as long as you're participating in it, that's what matters the most. Just give it a try. There's no issues when it comes to, I mean, no one's going to remember, is what I'm trying to tell you. If it's going to go good, people will remember. If it's going to go bad, no one's going to remember more than five, six people who are your closest friends. And they're just going to make fun of you. That's no big deal. But the fact is, you gave it a try and you know where to improve on, so that the next time you're going to go ahead with a public speaking event to say, or a public speaking session, you're going to be way more comfortable in presenting yourself. The next thing that where a very good platform for you to experience or practice your public speaking. This is for every age group that's there. It's called a Toastmasters club. Now, a Toastmasters club is a club that's there in every society. It's more or less there in every 2 kilometer radius to say, generalistic basis all over India. And there are similar clubs like this all over the world as well, where people get together every weekend. They take one topic, and each of them have like 5 to 10 minutes or even a half an hour to present that on that topic. Now, the whole aspect of this Toastmasters club is to improve the aspect of public speaking. So if you get an opportunity, like if you figure out that, I'm pretty sure there'll be one Toastmasters club near your locality, and if you want to give it a try, just go to a Toastmasters club. Just join a Toastmasters club. Figure out, give it a try. Take a Sunday, go to the club, or right now it's all online, so you don't even have to travel anywhere. So you can be online and still give a presentation. It, it's all about giving a try. You would never know unless you give it a try. Even if it's bad, even if you think it's stupid to say, or you think you won't be able to do it, doesn't matter. As long as you don't give it a try, you'll never know. And if you give it a try, you'll know more about how to do it much better. Now, another place where you can try public speaking. This is for mainly college students to say. You have for a business student, there's a lot of opportunities. You have your your business fest, say cultural events, a lot of platforms. You have your MUNs again. You have a lot of public. You get a lot of opportunities to people conduct their own TEDx events to say. X is for your individual part. So you can take that opportunity in being a lead speaker. You can also be a panelist in a lot of places. Try to figure out if you can join a lot of events. There's a lot of online meetups that happen. There's this website called Meetup. There's this event called Events High. There's a lot of websites like these where you just go and connect. We'll be talking more about these websites and what they are later down the line. But wherever you get an opportunity to present yourself, in order to become a leader, in order to be able to share your ideas, it's really important that you get every opportunity of public speaking. You get every public speaking opportunity that's presented to you. Now, how do you practice public speaking, or how does it work? It's pretty simple, or it's not that simple to say, but no one knows the secrets behind it, or no one's been taught, how these things work in a real life scenario, like in a school environment or even a college environment to say. It's always taught by your seniors or your peers or your mentors. Now, here's an understanding of how public speaking works, which a mentor of mine provided me. So I was this one person who used to always stammer a lot. I was very good at research, but I used to stammer a lot when it comes to presenting myself. So this is something when I was presenting a business idea to my mentor, he said, "Hey Rishabh, listen, I understand you because you're very good at your research. I know what you're talking about, but the way that you present, you're stammering a lot for no specific reason. You know what you're gonna speak about. I don't understand why you're stammering a lot. But here's a few tips which I can give you and which will definitely work out. One, prepare yourself in front of a mirror. If you made a speech or if you know what you're going to be talking about, scripted or not, make sure that you prepare yourself in front of a mirror. What I usually do is before I go present myself, I tap my feet really fast. It's like a personal trick. It works for a lot of people. So what you do is you just tap your feet really fast for 5 seconds. What happens is all that nervousness that's there, you lose it in that 5 seconds. It's just like gearing up, like how you start an engine is the very same way. So once you start tap yourself your feet for 5 seconds, you get up, you feel that josh or you feel that energy with you, saying that okay, I'm confident enough to go speak in front of a lot of people. Even if you're not, it's fine. It's all about giving it right. But just be self-prepared to go and talk. There's no harm in feeling shy or being stage having a stage fright. But as long as you give it a try, you'll never know. Or it's okay if you fail, give it a try. First time it won't work, like I said. Second time it might not work, but from the third time you'll feel way more comfortable going and speaking in front of the people. Take it easy. Start with a bunch of your friends. Get like 2 to 3 friends of yours in front of you. Be it like it doesn't matter if you're a school student or any age group to say. If you're gonna go present in front of someone, say if you have an office presentation that you have to make, which you're feeling hesitant, or if you have a client presentation to make, if you have a business presentation to make, or if you're presenting your own model or a technology or some idea to say, doesn't matter. Get 3 people involved, be it your parents or be it your friends, get them involved, make them sit over there, pitch it to them. You will feel a lot more comfortable pitching to people who you already know rather than people who you don't know. So the next step that comes forward is always pitch it to people first that you know about, at least to get started. Once you get comfortable with public speaking, it becomes a lot more easier. So one, talk in front of a mirror. Two, pitch in front of people. Three is always make sure that you have pointers kept and made. Always have like something like a flashcard system or a pointers that a set of points which you want to highlight on rather than having the whole script made. Because when you're having the whole script made, you will be more inclined towards reading through the script rather than presenting it your own way. Always have that voice modulation in place and have that personalization in place. It's okay to be a bit informal as long as you're putting the words through your mouth and it's not through a piece of paper. That gives a lot of personalization. And when you're talking to people, especially via online or even say in person, you would want to have that personalization in place. So always make sure that you're only having pointers which you can just check upon quickly and just come back to the story. The next thing that which you need to prepare for, or a tip that I usually use for public speaking, is always make sure that you have a lot of experiences or stories which you can put forward. Because when you have all these things, it becomes a lot more easy for them to relate to something and for you to get them to understand the picture where you're going to get themselves at. Now, all these things might take some time. No, it doesn't have to be perfect at the very same day or the very same time that you're presenting something. Just make sure that you do it all these stepwise. Make yourself comfortable. The major thing about all these components is making sure that you are confident yourself or your self determination towards presenting. Now there is no issues in being an introvert. Now an introvert doesn't mean that you're going to be bad at presenting. It just means that you wouldn't be comfortable or you wouldn't prefer talking in front of people. But given the opportunity, I've seen a lot of introverts in my own during my college life, where people who were introverts were the best people. Like I used to wait for a friend of mine who was an introvert to just come and present his topic or his ideas to say, because I would, the way that introverts are, they have much more control over the English language. They're very good in their articulation, and they're very confident as well when it comes to speaking. So, in being an introvert is not an excuse. On the other hand, being shy, being all these things, everyone are shy. It's normal to be shy or normal to have that level of hesitation when you're trying to present. But as long as you're giving it a try, the only way to get used to or getting comfortable with public speaking is by doing it again and again and again and again. It's okay if you fail, no one's going to keep that in mind. Now, we'll move on to the next topic. Before that, I forgot if you guys have any questions which if you would want to ask me of how public speaking works to say in general, or if you want to give me if you want me to give you guys any more examples or in a situation basis, please feel free to drop a message in the chat and I'll get back to it as well. So, moving ahead, I would want to continue with the topic of what networking is. Now, networking is as important to a school student or as an employee himself. Now, I'm pretty sure many of you know what networking means in a generalistic sense. It's about creating a community or creating a set of people who you can connect with, or in general, connecting with people. Now, why is networking important in the 21st century? You have to understand, or the fact is, it's always been important. Networking is the biggest thing about being a leader to say, or it's a huge skill set that which you need to have. Now, it can be networking mainly. Why do we do networking? It's perceived in a lot of different ways. Now, networking to say, the main thing that you think about networking is LinkedIn, because that's a place which everyone's known for to network. But the aspect of LinkedIn has changed over the time. As LinkedIn goes, people just they've made it as a professional Facebook rather than being in a professional way to get mentors, get people, get clients in, or get people who will help you out with more businesses to say, people who can be your friends in terms of a business community, creating an ecosystem where if you need any help, that you have a contact who you can connect with and they'll help you out with the same way. That's where networking plays a huge role. For a school student, networking is mainly about getting mentors. The aspect of mentors is very important. This is something, again, schools or college institutions don't emphasize on, that mentors, I know about mentors, but having a mentor boosts a lot of confidence in yourself. We'll just take a pause. I think I have a question over here. Do you recommend any particular structure we should present our speeches in to increase clarity and make it easier for listeners to understand? Okay, fine. So moving on to this, see, uh, keep it simple to say. Always start with a very bright introduction. Always start off with good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here. I know I'm Rishabh Amanath. I'm here to present on this topic. Start with a statement. People are very comfortable with making a statement first or understanding a statement first. Just make sure. See, here's a video which I would like you guys to watch later down the line. It's called "Start with Why" by Simon Sinek. What he talks about is how big brands like Apple and how the Wright brothers ended up in achieving their goal to say. It starts with very same simple thing. You take three circles. You start off with no, sorry, yeah. How do you start off with any speech? Is always start with why. What generally people do is they start with what, and then they start with how, and then they go about with why. Now, when you start with what the topic is all about, and then you start about how, and then you say why, it becomes irrelevant. Everyone know what. Say, for example, taking a product in place. Take my own company. So my company, if I have to pitch it in a generalistic way, it's say, hey, I'm Compass Career Discoverers. I'm a career counseling agency. How I do it through I have a psychometric test, which involves people, which involves us in understanding how people's psyche are and having them experience careers, and end of which will be relating to them to a lot of career suggestions. Why we do it? We do it because we're good at it, and it's a whole new process. Now this way becomes way too common, and when I'm pitching someone, pitching the idea to someone, they're like, hey, there's every other guy in the state who can call himself a career counselor. But let's take it the other way. If I start with why, then how, then what, it becomes completely different. Now, if I say I'm a career counseling platform that enables people to experience their career options rather than just being a consultant towards a career advice, how we do it is we make sure that you get to experience your career first, wherein you understand what your options are before you make a career choice. And what I do is I just and I have a platform that enables you to explore all these things. I have a set of mentors that helps you enable them, and by my online process, I get to help you with the same. Now, when you share the idea first, it becomes a lot more relatable, and it hits the inner part of your brain. That's the whole part which understands emotions, which understands feelings, rather than the logic side of your brain, which is more on the outer side of the brain. So this is the whole video on Start With Why. You can go check it out on YouTube. It's really, I'm pretty sure he has explained it much better. The author is called Simon Sinek. There's a book on it as well. If you guys are interested, if you guys are good readers, you can go check that out as well. So always start with why. That's the answer to the question. When you always start with why, or you underline the reason towards your speech, whatever you're gonna say makes it a lot, almost it becomes very relatable to people who are listening to it. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more question and then we're gonna move on to networking. Uh, okay. Okay, let's take this generalistic question. What if the audience gets bored during our speech? How am I supposed to get their attention back? This is a very common situation that many of us have been in, especially teachers. They've faced it a lot when students get bored over topics. So always have a plan B, or like a informal plan when you're going about with public speaking skill. Now, always have stories kept in place wherever you if you feel that people are getting bored, it's becoming monotonous. Always make sure that you have a story or an experience in place, because whenever people are listening to stories or experiences, that becomes a lot more interesting. So say for example, you're giving a lecture on something that's very technical. Start off with a funny story of some other researcher who came up with that concept. Say for a science person, start off with another researcher. Richard Feynman is a really fancy researcher to say. He was a really fancy scientist who himself has written a book on how funny it was when it came to all his inventions, to say, or when it came to all his researches. So what you can always do is always have this relationship, like say, always have a story or an experience or a simple activity in place, just to make sure that whenever you feel that people are getting bored, or they're dozing off, they're looking left, right, and center, you understand that you need to put that quick story in place. Because when you put that story in place, people are like, wow, okay, what a nice story to go ahead with. But on a generalistic basis, the idea is to not get bored on any public speaking event, to say. When you The whole thing, the whole trick to make sure that people don't get bored is, one, try to make sure that you're moving a lot around a lot. You're using a lot of hand movements, to say. You try to be, even in a formal speech, to say, try to have that voice modulation that makes it look personalized and makes it look informal as much as possible. That's the whole trick towards the same. uh yeah. So with that, I will come to questions later. I can see a lot of questions, but we'll get to it at the end of this talk. uh I wanted to emphasize again on how networking works and how LinkedIn works as a platform, and what other platforms does networking, where you can do a networking. How do you network? How do you start the first conversation? Okay. So moving ahead, we had discussed about what networking is and how important networking is to a person. Be it for a school student, like I was saying, mentors are the biggest secret to success. If you have a set of mentors to guide you with any process, to say, it becomes a lot more easier for you to be a leader in whatever industry you are. It doesn't, I mean, a leader doesn't mean that you have to become an entrepreneur or a CEO of a company, to say. A leader is someone who can, you know, ignite change, or who can push a change or push an initiative forward. That's who a leader is. Okay, for someone who needs to understand what networking is on a generalistic basis, leave out all the rule definitions. It's about connecting with people. That's what networking is all about. Connecting with new people, connecting with important people, connecting with the required people. That's what networking is all about. I That's all you need to know in the term called networking. There's no book, there's no requirement to have a bookish definition towards the same. Coming back to things, yeah, coming back to things about why networking is important, or how mentors are important to say in networking basis. Mentors help you push yourself to the next level. Now there's something that you don't know about. Mentors are the people who will tell you how to go about it the same. They have years of experience beyond you, and they are going to help you out and making sure that if you're stuck in any, in a situation you don't have any experience in, mentors are the people who come in and tell you, hey, this is how it gets done. For any student, that's really important. For making a decision to say or exploring something, mentors are the people that help you, because you don't get to know everything from a school teacher or a school environment to say. Mentors are the people who tell you, hey, listen, here's an opportunity. You need to be exploring all these fields in field that you're interested in. Say for a marketing, say I'm interested in marketing. If I go to any school teacher, they're gonna say, "Hey, read your textbook. Your marks are very important. Just focus on getting your marks and you'll reach there." But say for even a college student, that's the reaction that you're gonna get. Hey, present a research paper that's gonna push yourself to the next level. Get an internship that's gonna help you out again. What a mentor helps you out with is he starts with the foundation. He or she, always start with the foundation. They know how it works in a real life scenario. They start with what all skill sets that you need to have for marketing. How do you improve those skill sets? Where do you get to improve those skill sets? How do you explore more in this field? How do you connect with more people in the marketing field? How do you make yourself known in the marketing field? Or if you want to start your own initiative, how do you get started ahead with that? And they'll be, see, if you get in connection with a mentor, you don't have to get connected with you don't have to search for other people as well. If you have 5 mentors, they're going to connect you with 100 different people, who are going to be having who are going to be helping you out with the same. Now, one question that came through, which I also want to point out, is how do you find the ideal mentor? Now, there are places where you get to find, the first understanding that you need to have towards finding a mentor is, what do you need a mentor for, or where do you get a mentor? First, start off with it very simply. Your parents are your biggest mentors. Okay, start off with them. Make sure that you ask them 100 different questions which is career related. Now, if you're asking it career related, that gives them a lot of, that makes them do their own homework, come back and help you out with the same. So first, if you're a school student or a college student, start off simple. Start off with your parents. The next thing that you need to go ahead to the next step of finding a mentor is your favorite teacher. Your favorite teacher or your favorite professor, they're going to be the next mentor to you. They're going to help you out with how getting more opportunities on a generalistic basis, or getting you connected to the next step. So the next step is attend events. The best thing about attending events is you get to meet amazing people. If you find a speaker who's really interactive, if you feel that you can relate to them a lot, if you feel that they're really intelligent to say, or if you're you know uh, what we call it, if you're energized, or if you feel that they're going to be a good mentor, if you feel that they're going to help you out with the same, they're going to be the third mentor to you. Just go to them, tell them, here's how you get to start a conversation on a journalistic basis. Here's how I start a conversation. Here's how I've been able to start a conversation, be it anyone who, even if they're years elder to me, if they're very professional oriented, it's very simple to start a conversation. That's what you need to know. You don't have to be hesitant. The only thing is, never be hesitant in talking to people. Understand that if you're a person, you will love to talk to other people. That's the very same consideration with anyone else. Okay, so don't be hesitant. Here's a story on how I got to have dinner with the director of IIT Kharagpur. So I was in Bangalore this one time. I think it was December or November, and I wanted to get access to this Bangalore club. But I didn't know how to connect with these people or how to get in touch with them, because I didn't have the right contact in place. So what I did is I found this event, wherein the IIT Kharagpur, it's one of the biggest engineering colleges in India. It is the biggest to say for general, for people who don't know about IIT Kharagpur. So they were changing the director. So a new director was coming in place, and he was having an alumni meet in Bangalore. So he was flying down to Bangalore with all his technical teams, and the HODs were all coming in. and they were having a meeting at Bangalore Club in, in Bangalore, to say in general, with all their alumni team. And it was an open event. So I said, why not? And this was something which my co-founder suggested me, saying, hey, go for this, see, if you can connect with people. So I said, why not? The best thing was, if you go in a very professional way to a professional event, it makes you a lot more presentable. Always make sure that you yourself makes yourself comfortable, make yourself look good, which gives you a lot more confidence in talking to other people. So what I did, I wore a suit, I went to the event. Funny thing was, I was the only guy who was not from IIT, who was standing over there in that event, and everyone else who were even years elder to me were from IIT, and they were alumni themselves. But that didn't stop me from talking to people. So all I did is I went over there. The first person who I could meet, who was organizer, I told him, listen, I'm not an alumni. I saw this as an open event. I want to connect with people. Just point me towards the right person or any person who I can connect with. And he just introduced me to the HOD. Now, in a generalistic basis, if this was me in a college life or school life, I'd be like, no, 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 not the HOD. Just connect me with someone who's easy or who's my age so that I can relate to them more. But no, in this scenario, when he connected with me to the HOD, I just introduced myself. It's very easy to introduce yourself. Just say, hi, my name is Rishabh Amarnath and I'm an entrepreneur. Or say for a school student, say I'm a school student in this place. I just came here because I was really interested to talk, meeting with such great minds. And I thought I'll have a great time over here connecting with more people. And here's what I do, here's what my ideas are. And I ended up having 20-minute conversation before the alumni meet started with the HOD, having him giving me his visiting card. I ended up getting 20 different visiting cards from the same at the end of this event, having dinner with the director himself, just because I was super open in talking with them. All I just said was, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, and it's a great pleasure for coming over here and having this conversation with you. Everyone's interested. You never know where you end up from there. From there, I got a contact. This one person who I met over there ended up, making me meet with another mentor of mine who guided us in our sales process as well, as to how do you go forward with a sales pitch, or how do you convince a school in a generalistic basis if you're an ed tech startup, and so forth. So the ideal way to get a mentor is always make sure that you end up meeting a lot, going to a lot of meetings. As long as the meeting is small, it becomes a lot more sense for you to end up in that meeting. Start with a bunch of generalistic mentors. They're going to always connect you with more experienced people, more professional people who are going to take you to the next level. Okay. So the whole step about getting an ideal mentor is starting somewhere. Start with your parents, start with your school teacher or your college professor. They're going to make sure that you're going to get in touch with someone else, and that person is going to make sure that you get in touch with someone else. But always remember to create an impact. Always make sure that you put yourself forward to them. Tell them, hey, this is who I am. This is what I need your help with. Please help me out. And I'm telling you, everyone wants to be a mentor. You yourself, if I tell you, hey, listen, I have a class to teach, why don't you come for just 1 hour? You don't have to be a teacher, but you just come 1 hour and present yourself. You would love to do that. Who doesn't? That's the very same way that every person thinks. It's the very same way as to becoming a mentor, because everyone always thinks about giving back to society, and being a mentor is one. So don't hesitate. And the best place to find a mentor is LinkedIn. That's the whole purpose for a school student or a college student is LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn, type the fanciest career that you're interested in. Say for a school student, say you're interested in, say, DJ. That's the fanciest career that I can think of. So I type DJ in the search option. I get 100 different people who are DJs. Or say, for example, in a professional basis, say a financial analyst. Okay, so I type financial analyst, I get 100 different people who are financial analysts. So I just click on one, I type chat, I say, hey, my name is Rishabh Amarnath, and I'm an entrepreneur, or I'm a school student, or I'm a college student from Christ University, Bangalore. I was really interested with the concept of being a financial analyst, and I found you on LinkedIn. I just wanted to have a basic conversation with the same. Would you be interested in sparing me 30 minutes of your time where I can ask you a few questions and you can help me out with the same, because I'm really interested in the career? Trust me not, you will end up having more than a half an hour discussion. You will end up having more than a day's discussion, and they'll end up being your mentor, because that's a connect which they'll never forget, you will never forget. And if there's any help that you require, they will be there for you. That's how LinkedIn works. So take it as an activity to say, every week, say today is the Sunday, start off with today. Keep it simple. Go to LinkedIn, just type the fanciest career that you know or the most interesting career that you know of. Click on the first person that comes on LinkedIn. Give it a try. If it doesn't work, go to the second person, go to the third person. It always works at some point of time. There's no shame in saying that, oh, this person didn't reply, now I'm not going to talk to anyone else. That's not a valid answer. So talk, just click on someone, say that, hey, this is who I am. I'm really interested in, this career field or this topic, and I wanted to explore more about this. I have a lot of questions to ask. Even if you don't have lot of questions, just say that you have a lot of questions. You will always get questions. Say, how is the job like? Where do I get there? How do I explore more about this field? Can I get an internship? Or can you connect with me with more people? Is there something that I can do at this point of time? What certification course should I do? Where do I get the certification course from? Or, here's an idea. What do you think about this? 100 different questions come into place. Start off with the basic questions, you'll end up over there. So that's how you get to connect with networking. And that's how you get a mentor to say. Now, for people in the workings, who are working, who are graduates, another purpose that comes into place is creating a network of required people who are going to help you out down the line. You have to understand that if you have, you know, it's always nice to be the guy who knows the guy who knows the guy who knows the guy. It's always good to have connections. Now, the best thing about me that happened to me in college is that every other classmate of mine were really good at marketing, were really good in the field of their interest, that whenever it came about and, helping, I would say, for example, hey, I all I have to do is I need to go to a friend of mine. I have to tell him, hey, listen, I want to get in touch with someone related to this. Do you know anyone in this field? And they'll say, yeah, Rishabh, I know A, B, C people in this field. I'm going to connect you with the same. And that's all is going to happen. So for a college student, make sure that you have a good set of batch of college students. If not, make sure that you get a set of students, you create a group of students who have a lot of connections in place. It doesn't have to be like a connection with an MLA or a government or a high level official. Even if it's a freelancer, even if it's someone they know, like a website developer or a coder or a financial analyst or a chartered accountant, that's a lot of help. Now, for a person who's in the working stage, LinkedIn helps you create a community. Now, you need to understand that being in a job, you get to have a lot of clients to say, especially if you are in a job role, to say that involves you getting a lot of clients. If you're in that position where getting a client in makes a lot of sense, LinkedIn is the place. You make sure that you're very professional. You make sure that you have a lot of testimonials. You optimize your LinkedIn account. It doesn't take that much time. Take a weekend out, optimize your LinkedIn account, and connect with people. Say that, hey, this is who I am. I think I can have a great conversation with you, and I can help you out in a great way. Why don't we have a chat with the same? Everyone's open to hearing out in ways how they can help themselves. So in that way, LinkedIn helps you out in a great way. So if you want to get more clients in, if you want to get more business in, if you want to get connect with people and sharing your idea, if you have a business idea, you want to share it with people, or you want more people to get on board with the same, just put across a post in LinkedIn. All I did, so I was searching for a digital marketer, and this is the first time that I even posted on LinkedIn. So all I said was, hey, I'm looking for a digital marketer, this is my company, if you're interested, just drop me a message. I ended up getting 150 comments and a lot more personal messages stating, hey, this is who I am, can I help you out with the same? So the very same way, all you have to do is, I have an idea, say, on global warming. I think we have a solution for the same. If someone's interested in hearing me out, if anyone else has the same idea or working in the same field, please get in touch with me. I'm telling you, people will reply. And the best thing about replying is you get to have a connection with them. And when you're sharing an idea, it leads somewhere. It ends up going somewhere, and that's going to create an impact down the line. And when it comes to creating an impact, it's good to create impact. And it's good for yourself, it's good for others, it feels good. So always make sure that you're connecting with people. Always make sure that Sunday you get to connect with one person at least. Be it a mentor, be it someone in a different field, be it someone in the same field. Make sure that you're getting connections, because whenever you need a help, whenever you need an expertise of someone, it's really easy because you already know someone in that field. You don't have to search at that point of time. And that's really helpful down the line. With that, We'll take up a few more questions to say in generalistic basis, and then we'll end conversation to say, okay. Here's a question: how do I get started off with LinkedIn, and what are the initial steps? It's pretty simple. Always take it step by step. Create a LinkedIn account. LinkedIn has a lot of features in place. Always make sure that you're putting across a formal picture of yourself. Don't put across a party picture of yourself, or a informal picture of you saying yo or hi or something like that. Dress up nicely, dress up formally, wear a shirt, or wear anything formal, and click a picture that looks very formal. Because LinkedIn main purpose is to look professional. So upload a formal picture, upload yourself. Even if you're a school student, say that. Don't say that you're a school student in general. Always give yourself an ideal to put forward with. Say you're a visionary of this field, or you're an entrepreneur of this field. Doesn't matter if you're not an entrepreneur or not. The fact is you're interested in that field and you want to explore more in that field, and that's what energizes yourself to put forward. So, say, for example, uh, if I'm a school student, I would say in my school life, I was a photographer. So what I would say is I'm a photographer. In my LinkedIn profile, I would have put across as a professional photographer or professional photography freelancer, say freelancing photographer. Say. It doesn't matter. Just says that you're interested in something, and that's the field that you're interested in at that point of time, or if you want to specialize at that point of time. Say you're interested in something and not good at it. Say you're an enthusiast at in financial analysis, enthusiast at investment banking, say enthusiast at coding, or enthusiast a person to who wants to generate an idea to say. So always start off with the same. Put across all the achievements. Say if you won an award in a school event, put that across and write at least 3 lines about that event, because anyone knows what a speaking event like a just a minute is, or a MUN is to say. But what is special about that event? That's what creates a difference. And when in that 3 lines that you write, that's what's going to emphasize a lot more regarding the same. Put across, make sure that your friends are also there in LinkedIn, or you have people on LinkedIn who know you on a generalistic basis. It doesn't matter if you're a school student, there will be people who will know you, or there will be other school friends. Just start off with your own friend to say, if you don't have any other one else. Start off with the same, put across characteristics which you feel you're good at or you want to be good at. And when you get endorsed with the same, so all you have to do is you ask your friend to endorse you for the same. And that's an initial setup of how to get setting up your profile in LinkedIn. The next step is how do you go about with LinkedIn? Start off with a post. Always take a topic in general. Say COVID. That's the most talked topic as of now. Or say the US elections. Create, write across 100 words. Write a small, a speech or like a small article for 100 words alone, and just put it across on LinkedIn. Say, here's my thoughts on this topic. What do you guys think? When you put across that thing, people will have their own views of the same. People who are also following something related to that topic will also get that same post, and you will start a conversation. And that's the start of how do you get started with LinkedIn. Whenever you make an achievement, make sure that you put it on LinkedIn. Whenever you go to an event or you take part in an event, make sure that you're putting a post on LinkedIn saying that, hey, I took part in this event, or I got a certification on this, on from this university or this organization, and here's what it's all about. Here's my feedback for the same, or my experience on the same. That's how you get started on with LinkedIn for a generalistic basis. uh, After that, you will get yourself accustomed towards things. Okay. How do you find pinpointed mentors related to interdisciplinary fields? See, it, the best place where I usually get mentors is through events. That's the best way. There's something called Events High. Like I said, there's something called Meetup. Now, in these two places, they always keep posting meetings for several different purposes. All you have to find out is figure out if the purpose that field that you're looking for, that event in your field that you're looking for is there. Go up. Even if it costs you money, it's fine. End up going over there. Don't stop talking. Talk as much as possible, create an impact, share your ideas by the end of the day, and don't hesitate to talk in talking with the person who's organizing the same, because that person who's organizing it, he or she, they are organizing it for the main purpose of gathering a network in place. So when they are creating that event for the same purpose, you going there is for the right person, right idea as well, right reason as well. You go over there, make sure that you're connecting with same like-minded people, because even they are coming for the same reason. So when you're going there and talking with like-minded people, and when you're going there and you find the person who's organizing it, they'll be a bit more senior than you, and they're the right set of a mentor, or they'll be the ideal mentor to get started off it in at least that field. And they will have, see, you have to realize that at your level you will find 100 different people, but finding one person above your level is going to connect you with 10 more people at that level, and connecting with more people at that level is going to connect you with one person a level higher than them, and that's how you get a much more experienced mentor as you go down the line. And it's not an easy way, it's not possible to get Mukesh Ambani as my business mentor, to say, right from scratch. Even if I know Mukesh Ambani, he's not going to mentor me. So the only way where I get to go to mentor Mukesh Ambani or anyone as big as Mukesh Ambani or any good mentor is by a step way. I get connected with a mentor who's a bit more experienced than me. They're going to connect me with someone who's more experienced than me. See, it's not a day's process, but you will get there. Trust me with that. Okay, let's take one more question in, and after that we'll end up. It's already going to be a 1 hour session. Uh, think, how do you find yourself in ideal mentor? Okay, done. Uh, how do you make your speech more interesting and understandable? Now, again, this is again a well understood situation. Always start off with facts. So here's a trick which I always used to play whenever I was very ill prepared for giving a presentation, which was more or less my whole third year of my my final year of college, where I was not prepared fully to give a presentation, but I knew a lot about it, and that ended up getting me a lot of score. A good score to say, in my college life. Always be updated with general facts, to say. That's the greatest way to keep a thing keep your speech interesting. It doesn't matter if you're bad at presenting, but as long as you have facts, that's going to be your key tricks in making sure that things become very interesting. Now, I had to talk about the topic on money control, or how currency works all around the world, say. So what this here's a here's a personal experience of mine that helped me with the same. Now you have to understand that a car in India, say a Swift Desire, costs 6 lakhs. But if you're buying the same Swift Desire, or say, sorry, a General Swift, Maruti Swift in Sri Lanka, it's gonna cost you 1.1.5 to 2 crores easily, or say 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs even for a generalistic model. Why is that? Now that's how currency works. One, Indian rupee is twice as valued as Sri Lankan rupee. Two, Sri Lanka always imports its cars. So the whole basis that involves, so, and another fancy thing is, in say, another experience that I used is in a currency basis, is that over here in India, if you have to sell your car as a second-hand basis, you have, there's depreciation that's involved, and there's a lot of loss of money when gets handed over or you're selling a car, to say. But in Sri Lanka, the requirement or the necessity of car is way too much, that if you're selling even a second-hand car, or even as a third-hand car, you can sell it for a higher price. So all these experience are facts which I came to know when I'm talking with a lot of people. And when you use these facts, I mean, when you have a lot of facts like this, the trick. Here's a book again which I would like to refer. This is called Rich Dad Poor Dad. This is one of the most interesting books that I've ever read, and this is what started me down the business path, the entrepreneurial path. But here's a one-liner which the author of that book, Robert T. Kiyosaki, says. He says, always learn a little about a lot. It's not good to know. I mean, although it's good to know a lot about a lot, it's always better to know a little about a lot. When you know a little about a lot, you always know something about everything. That's the whole thing. So when you know something about everything, you know a lot of facts to put across, you know a lot of experience, you know a lot of things that energizes people or gets them interested whenever it comes to a speech. So that's how I would use, that's how I've been going about with making my speeches or my public speaking events uh, interesting to say. Can you please, okay, one last question and then we'll end the thing. Uh, can you please address how to overcome stage fear? Like I said, stage fear is just anxiety. If you take it in a generalistic manner, you're just not used to going up on stage and presenting. The biggest way to overcome stage fear is to go on stage and present as much as possible. It's okay. You will find it to be very scary the first three times at least, but by the fourth time you'll get used to it. I was scared. I used to always hesitate to go up on stage, and when I went on stage, I remember the first two times I ended up, just keeping my mouth open and be like, stammering, literally stammering for a few seconds to even get words out of my mouth. But it happens. It's happened to everyone, and it won't happen to you as and when you're going about with more public speaking. Start small, like I said, start with your friends. When you get comfortable in giving that speech to a friend in front of your friends, that will give you a little boost of confidence, saying that okay, if my friends like my speech, people are going to like my speech. The next thing that you do is talk to your classmates to say, present the very same thing or present something else to your classmates. Enlarge the group a bit more. You know, make sure that you're presenting it to a class group or a set of people, at least in a generalistic basis. Start off with posting an article online or posting just record a video of yourself, put it up, about saying, your thoughts on some aspect. That will give you a lot more confidence when you're seeing a lot of comments coming down, uh, agreeing with you on the same basis. That's the next step. And then step by step, you know, whenever you get an opportunity, right? Here's how, whenever I get an opportunity, I always pinch myself. I say that, listen, even if you have a lot of work, even if you're not good at it, just go give it a try. Especially if making you getting, it's making you give, if it's giving you an experience to go on stage or talk in front of people in general, go at it. Because that's how I've always been, even if it's hesitant, that's how I've pushed myself. I'm telling you, you need to have that self-determination or that confidence in. Just even if you know it's going to be a bad idea, doesn't matter, just push yourself, just apply it as soon as you see it, so that you don't have that sense of backing out of it down the line. Or tell your friend that, listen, I don't have to back out from this thing. You have to make sure that I end up at this place or at this event and I end up presenting. Even if you're not good at presenting, it's fine, end up over there. You'll at least have, when you're put in a situation in a survival mode to say, when you have to present something or put something forward, you do end up doing it. And when you're done doing that, you'll feel, oh, I did manage to put some words out of my mouth. So the next time I'm going to do it, it's going to be much better and much prepared. So that's how that's how it's a stepwise way or a scientific way to get rid of stage fright, to say, or stage fear. uh with that, we'll come to the end of this meeting. If there are any other questions, I will answer to it personally, or you can go. We'll be posting this video live again on Facebook and YouTube. I will answer all these questions again over there. If you have any more questions regarding the same, we'll also be generating a lot of links. We'll also be putting across, if you guys like such videos, we'll be doing this every Sunday from now on. If you guys like my speech, please go like and share my page. Please subscribe to my page on Facebook so that you can have more updates on for the future events. And if you like the same, thank you so much for coming to this event. I would just like to take a minute on going about with who I am and what my company does. My name, like I said, my name is Rishabh Amarnath. I'm a co-founder of Compass Career Discoverers. We are India's first experiential learning career counseling platform. We go beyond the normal norms of career counseling. Our whole idea is to make sure that students, be it college students or college school students, get to explore their career options first, get to experience what the real life situations are in different fields before they get to take a career decision. Because there are a lot of things that students don't know about. There's a lot of things that not taught about in school about how real life works. And what we exactly do is we make them from our using real life case studies and real life situations. We make them we provide them with a hands-on experience, from a virtualistic way, on what careers are like in real life and how it's applied to the subjects that they study in, so that they get a better understanding of whether they like to do that specific job role or not. And apart from that, we are all about getting people in touch with more mentors. We are all about making sure that people get to experience, gain those required life skill sets that's required for them to be the best in any career field that they need to be in. We also help you get in touch with 100 different mentors. We have 80 plus mentors in our own platform that help you with the same. So if you're interested with getting in touch with us, or if you want our help with anything, uh, please feel free to get in touch with us. The company's name is www.compasscd.com. It'll be in the chat below, or it'll also be in the link for the in our Facebook page. So feel free to get in touch with us at any point of time. With that, thank you so much, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure for having you guys over. I hope you like the speech. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend and tried networking starting today. Thank you.